My name is Prentiss Lea, and I'm the superintendent at Community High School District 128, which is Libertyville and Vernon Hills High School in the north suburbs of Chicago. I have been a superintendent. This is my 13th year. I've been coming to this event since probably 2005, 2006. My previous superintendent, who was my mentor, Dave Clough, had a long involvement in the group. Dave brought me to one of the conferences when I was his associate superintendent, and I became immediately impressed by the focus of the conference. And to me, the difference between MAASS and other superintendent professional organizations is this particular conference is not presenter driven, it is topic driven, and it allows great opportunity over 2.5 days to interact with colleagues from across the Midwest and the Great Plains states on topics of interest to all of us and of need to all of us, and I think that makes this organization very unique. Well, I think out of all of the professional organizations that I have the opportunity to be involved in, MAASS is my favorite group for the reasons I just mentioned. Its focus on topics and interactions between the superintendents and ability to learn and dig deeper into relevant issues to all of us, regardless what state we come from, whether we're a rural district, a suburban district, or an urban district, or a combination of the three. The diversity of districts that are represented by MAASS really provides a fertile ground and really rich discussions on those issues. And one example is when Illinois hosted the conference several years ago, and we brought the conference back to Chicago. Part of the work that the Illinois delegation did that year, and that I did with the Illinois delegation, was to do a brief presentation on engaging legislators at the federal and the state level, developing relationships with them, and then helping drive legislation forward that was relevant to us. Under the concept that if we don't do that and we don't engage in the system, then decisions are going to be made in a vacuum without the expertise and knowledge that superintendents have. So a great example of that is early in this conference, Jim Knabel from Ohio and I had a conversation following that presentation several years ago. And it was really exciting to hear during this conference that Jim and his colleagues in Ohio really have developed some strong relationships with their legislators, to the point that we really celebrated with them the fact that they shepherded a bill through both houses of the Ohio legislature and to the governor's signature that was really done by the superintendent. So I think that connectivity is one of the great things that this conference provides, I could also say that I've taken things back that have been talked about and presented here and used them to help students and our staff in our district under the idea that we're always seeking continual improvement. So I think that is a great example of some of the kind of real-time connectivity that you can make here, and when we leave, some practical application of that. And so great celebrations to the Ohio delegation. I would say for superintendents everywhere, we're very isolated because we're in a very unique position, right? We're the only person in our district who does our job. And with all of the responsibility that comes with leading and managing school districts, navigating those waters, it's easy to become very isolated. So when you come to MAASS, you are with a group of people who sit in the same chair, who have the same challenges, who celebrate the same things when you have achievements, and who all have a great love of kids being more successful over a period of time. So in that environment, you have the opportunity here to do some real authentic and unique interaction with other superintendents, again, across the Midwest and the Great Plains states, that provides you really some anchor in what you're doing as a superintendent, and you walk away with an entire group of people who you can pick up the phone or email or text at any time when you're working on something. So if you're working on an issue or a problem, or you're driving something forward, or you're really doing something neat and you want to share it or get more information, you're able to reach out to other people and say, hey, what are you doing in this area? How's that work? Can we come visit you? Do you want to come visit us, etc.? And I think that's what really makes this conference a very unique conference, and why I place a high value on it. Make sure to the best of my ability that I can get to every year, because it's a really special 2.5 days here.